The Gear S3 Frontier is a really pretty watch, and it has a ton of features. So what I like about this watch, it's a smartwatch, right? But they've actually built in these little animations here. When you move the watch from side to side, you can see that little line. It looks like there's glare. It's not glare. It's actually just graphics making it look like there's real glare. I find that's really cool. So let's look at this. So I've had this for a couple of days now, and on purpose I've decided not to look at the manual because it should be pretty intuitive. So I press this button here. I can press this button here. Now this button at the bottom, right, this gives you access to your apps, right? And then what I really like about this little bezel here is that you can actually navigate your way around this watch without having to touch the screen. What I find that really sucks is that on typical smartwatches, it has a nice touch screen, but when you touch the screen, you're going to smudge it, right? And I'm sure if you're like me, you like a watch that looks clean and doesn't have any smudges. So having this rotating bezel, you don't have to touch the screen, right? You can get everything done by using this bezel and these two buttons. One, again, is the back button, and the other one is the home button. Right, so let me... so if you swipe from this across like that, you can actually see a couple of pre-installed widgets that are here. So let me go to the far left here and see what we have. I have a ton of different things here. It automatically takes your heart rate, as you can see. So I took it just now, earlier today, and it was 64 beats per minute. And then here's another here. You can actually see messages, like if you have email. So pretty much it just scrolls through your apps, right, that you have that are active. So that was one of my email clients. This is a podcast player. Here's a LinkedIn invitation I have here. And here's another LinkedIn invitation. I made my step target for the day, so 6,000 steps. Good start, thanks. And then you get the watch face, and then if you continue scrolling on the right hand side now, you have like the weather widget there. You can add contacts. Alright, you can just add a contact, or you can search, and you can actually get access to all of your actually this isn't my entire contact list that's in here. Of course, it read it from my phone. It's very easy to access, everything there. Now, if you had the Gear S2, you're going to realize that the look and feel of the apps on the Gear S3 is pretty much the same thing. So, from an OS perspective, not much has changed between watches. Now, what I like about this S3 is definitely this rotating bezel. It really makes it easy to navigate the watch. What I found too about the rotating bezel is that you don't have to use the touchscreen a lot. So what's the good thing about that? You don't smudge your screen, right? So when you actually press the top right button, sorry, you get your watch face, right, which is the default set, the default screen. And then when you turn the bezel counterclockwise, you can see all of your notifications. So I have a Facebook notification here. I can see my target steps have been reached for the day of 6,000 steps. I have a voicemail, and this also automatically takes my heart rate. So it shows you, what the rate was then, and of course, depending on what other apps you have on your watch, you would see all of the notifications there. Now, when I turn to the right, when I turn clockwise, I get the weather widget here, and then you can get access to your contacts here, and then you can actually, from this screen, directly press this icon here to send a text message, or you can just press the green icon there on the left there to actually initiate the call. Alright, so what I really like about the note-taking app, you can actually, if you want, which I prefer, you can actually write text by hand. So here you can just, it automatically detects the text that I'm writing, and as you can see, it does a very good job of interpreting my pretty crappy handwriting. As you can see, I'm writing out the alphabet here, and it picks it up pretty well. So when I'm done, I just press done here, and then I can set a time because this is a note, right, a reminder. So let's set it for maybe about 10:50 p.m. Done, and then I can just say save, and then I can see all of my little notes right there. So you can actually take quick reminders and notes on your watch face, which comes in very handy because a lot of times you don't have a notebook nearby, you don't have a laptop or tablet, and you have a $1 million idea, or you have you just remember you have a very important task that you need to remember. Use your watch. So continuing on, when I continue to turn the bezel clockwise, I can see all of my events here. So right now I have nothing happening for the rest of the day today, but you would see your events there. And here I can see the amount of calories that I've burnt for the day. And here I can actually see this is a step counter. So of course I've done 0 steps. I've been pretty lazy, but of course this triangle gets fuller and fuller, you know, when I get close to my target. When I say fuller and fuller, it actually turns green. And then the further you get, that triangle fills up with the color green, and then when you get to your target, you know, you've made your goal. But you know, it's just to show you that that's where you see your pedometer. I like this feature, this app here. This is a altimeter and a barometer, so it actually based on where you are, based on GPS, it actually tells you how high above sea level you are. So in this case I'm 248 meters above sea level, and the pressure is 996 HPAs, which is and I've actually moved around, and pretty much in real time it does update. So that's a pretty cool little widget. Here I have access to some news, so I have sports here, so I can click on that, and I can actually see and read the my news, and I get access to my stock tips. The screen is actually large enough that you can read the text on this news very well. So if you're waiting for the train or whatever, and you want to have a quick read, you don't have to pull out your phone. You can actually read the news on your watch. But then if you want to watch it on your phone, you just press this icon, and then voila, you should get the same article on your phone, which is really cool. So there's also a player on this watch, because it does have quite a bit of storage on there. From a storage perspective, this watch does have 4 gigabytes of onboard storage, and it has 768 megabytes of RAM. So all that being said, you can load your music on here, and via Bluetooth, if you have a set of Bluetooth earbuds or headphones, you can have those on and listen to your music without the need of a phone. That comes in handy if you're a jogger, right, or a runner. It's pretty cool, right? Yes sirree. So this one here is just your calendar, right? And you can scroll through, and then here's where you can actually look at the calendar and look at all the what you have to do for the day on your calendar. Alright, and let's go back, and then here's where you can actually add the city to customize your phone, right? So your watch, sorry. So you can actually customize and actually set the time zone where you live on your watch as well. And what else is there? So these are like all the default widgets that are installed. If you want to add more, alright, at the very end is an add widget icon. You press that, and then you can add cool things like an alarm, apps, shortcuts, contacts, which you already have. You have another a multi-contact widget where you may have groups of contacts in certain groups, like your workmates in one, your family in another, for example. Here's a really cool Samsung Health app where you can track your calories. Here's a running app. Here's that Samsung Health app where we talked about the triangle that tracks your writing. Oh, this one actually can track, which is really cool. I've been using this. It actually detects when because it does have a built-in altimeter, right? So when you walk upstairs, it actually tracks the number of floors that you've gone up. So if you've gone up, so right now this is showing, for example, you've gone up 3 floors of stairs, and it tracks that. And of course, the more floors that you go up, the more this triangle fills up. And then once it fills up, you've made your goal of, you know, number of stairs climbed in a day, for example, which is a really cool Samsung Health app. This, of course, is your heart rate monitor app. Here's a little leaderboard. Here you can track your water and coffee intake. And here's your weather widget. Now, what I like about the Samsung Gear S3 is the voice commands. You can actually, you know, understand what you're saying and do what you tell it. So if you double click the home button, start workout.
Start by warming up gently.
As you can see, my workout app automatically started. And there are tons of things you can ask this thing to do. You can ask to check the weather. You can ask to see what you have to do, what you have on the agenda for the day, all kinds of things. So that was just an example. What is the weather like today?
Tuesday, expect thunder showers.
And it's telling me that to expect thunder showers. So as you can see, this watch is pretty versatile. So other features, if you press the home button once, you get access to your applications here, and you can switch, you can just, you know, cycle through the different apps using the bezel. Again, I love the bezel because you don't have to touch the screen and smudge it. So you can access your settings, S-Voice, music player, weather, Samsung Health, contacts, phone, messages, and recent apps. And if you go to the next page, there it is. You have your reminders. You get access to all the other apps, barometer, schedule, alarm, and whatnot. And there's even a Find My Phone feature as well. So for example, here's my phone, and if my phone was hidden under the couch, I press this. Right, so you hear that loud noise? That means that's my phone, and it was pretty loud, right? So it automatically, now funny enough, my phone was actually set to vibrate mode, right? So of course it automatically turned on the speaker, and it played a loud tune there, and it vibrates. So don't worry if you forgot to turn on your speaker. The app for Find My Phone will do it for you. Now, of course, when you've finished that app, your phone goes back into the default mode. So if you had it on vibrate before, it will go back to vibrate. Now, via the Samsung Gear app, you can customize your watch face. You can also see the health of the battery on your watch, as well as see how much storage is left, and you can see how much RAM is being used. Now, you can also, as I said, customize your watch face. There are many watch faces that you can get on the App Store. They're pretty cheap too, like $1.30. Well, this is $1.30 Canadian, but you know, for that watch face, and there's other ones as well. Here is it here, digital LED. You know, all these cool different watch faces that you can use for your watch. But personally, I like the default one. It gives me enough information, but yeah, I mean, and that's the beauty of smartwatches, right? You can customize them to your preference. There's so many really cool apps on the store, as you can see here. Look at these really cool watch faces. But then, you know, once you have a Google Play account, of course, so you can actually purchase them online. And I'm sure there are a couple of free ones as well, but you know, just take the time, look around. I'm sure you can find some free watch faces. So from the outside, looking at the watch from the outside, right here you can see is the back key. Then here we have the home key. It's also the power key. And right over here we have the microphone. And here is the GPS antenna. Then this, of course, is our gorgeous touchscreen. That's our rotating bezel. And right here in this area is the light sensor. Now if we were to look at the back of the phone, right here is where we have our speaker, and then our heart rate sensor of course is right here, and then right here is the pressure relief vent. So that is where the atmospheric pressure is actually measured, right? From a dimensions point of view, it's 49 by 46 by 12.9 millimeters, and it weighs 63 grams. Which, so to be honest, you do feel that weight on your on your wrist. It's not very heavy, but it does feel like, you know, an expensive watch, you know. Of course, the build, it's stainless steel, and it does have an electronic SIM card, so that's an eSIM, right? So no more plastic SIM cards. So with that, then it does support Samsung Pay, and I did mention in part 1 of this video that it is compatible with standard 22mm straps. So the good news is you can actually change these out for any other watch strap of your choice. Screen, Super AMOLED, capacitive, 16 million colors, 1.3 inch screen, and the resolution obviously on the screen, as you can see by this great looking watch face here, equates to 278 pixels per inch, which is pretty good. That it would have been great to have, you know, the same Android app, Android OS that you would see on your smartphone, but that's okay. Maybe in a later release of this line of watches we may get that, but today the Samsung Gear S3 comes with Tizen based wearable platform version 2.32, which is not bad. I mean, you get, you know, quite a couple thousand apps that can work on this thing, and so that's okay. Has a dual core processor, 1 gigahertz in speed. I talked about this, the memory already. So it doesn't support radio, and it doesn't of course have a USB interface, but it does support Wi-Fi and of course Bluetooth 4.2, and it does have GPS. Now, one thing I want to mention as well, the battery on this thing, they say it lasts up to 72 hours on a 3G network, and up to 72 hours in general for talk time with mixed usage. Now with me, I've actually personally, I fully charged this up on Sunday, and Sunday around middays when I took it off the charger, and by the evening on Wednesday, so that's, let me see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, three plus days, I went into power save mode. So there was still at least like 9% power left on the battery after, like, you know, over 3 days, and I used it for quite a few things. So that's pretty impressive. So again, 380 milliampere hour battery is what powers this, so that's pretty good to get 3+ days on a 380 milliampere hour battery. Pretty cool. So one of my favorite features of this watch is the fact that it is IP68 certified. So what does that mean? Well, it pretty means that you can put this in water up to 1.5 meters deep. So underwater for as deep as 1.5 meters, and you can, you know, keep it submerged in water for up to 30 minutes. And if you don't believe me, here's a glass of water. I can submerge it in water and leave it in water for up to 30 minutes underwater. So as you can see, while in the water, I can still, you know, navigate my apps with the bezel. And I think, you know what, because you have a rotating bezel, it actually makes it usable underwater, because you can imagine trying to use a touchscreen underwater, right? So the rotating bezel comes in very handy. And again, I can do this for up to about 30 minutes without harming the watch. Now, isn't that pretty cool? So in the settings tab, you can change your watch face. There are some default pre-installed watch faces that you can actually set up on this thing. You can set up your sounds and vibration, and then you can look at the device settings, the display settings, call settings, as well as messages, manage your connections, and also set up your security, accessibility, input and speech, power saving, gear info, and connect to new phone. So there's a lot of different things you can do in the settings tab. So let's quickly look at the displays, the watch faces that come pre-installed. So if I click on here, click on watch faces, here are a number of, so that's the one that it comes with. But as I scroll here, here's some new styles. Stylize. That's a pretty cool looking watch face. Right. There's also, let's look at the other ones. Let's see here. We have this one. It's pretty cool. And what I like is that there's a little pedometer in the middle, well, in that little blue circle that actually tracks your steps. Let's go back and see what other watch faces they have. That's a nice looking one. Oh, this one looks pretty cool. Alright, nice simple clean look. That's a nice one too. Wow, tons of them. And you can get more, but here's like your basic boring one. And here's another one. That one's pretty cool. Alright, so there are tons of different watch face styles that are pre-installed that you could use. So yeah, let's see. Let's look for one more cool looking one. This looks pretty busy. Look at this one. You see, if you like a really busy looking retro style, you know, numeric looking screen, you can use this one as well. But it just goes to show, like, yeah, what you can do to customize your smartwatch. So, I hope you enjoyed my review of the Samsung Gear S3. Now, as in all of my videos, I do have a link below the screen where you can actually get more information on this smartwatch, as well as get details on where to buy it at a pretty decent rate off of Amazon. And don't forget to like this video if you like it, leave your comments below, and also feel free to subscribe for more great tech and gadget reviews from Richie's Gaming Gadgets and Gizmos. So until next time, have fun, guys. Bye.
Hey everybody, so I hope you enjoyed that video. Now I'm going to ask you to do two things before you leave. One, there's a button right up here on the screen to my right here. Click on that and that will take you to our website, www.redtechbot.com. When you get on that site, there will be a button there where you can actually sign up for our newsletter. And when you do sign up for our newsletter by entering in your email address, you will automatically be entered into all of our tech giveaways. And by tech giveaways, these are some typical examples of what we will be giving away, and these are some examples. There's other stuff as well. And the good news is, you just have to enter your email address once, and it will automatically be entered into the pool every time we do a draw. And we will use that email address, of course, to contact the winner to tell them, hey, you've won something, and it's really cool. And of course, the newsletter will have updates on tech reviews, what's coming up new, what's coming up next, new stuff in the industry, and even information on future giveaways, right? So it's a really nice newsletter that we're going to be sending out. And one other thing is, on this side on the screen here, up here, on my left, you click on that and you will subscribe to the channel. Now by subscribing, of course, you will be at the forefront of any new things that are happening, any new videos that are coming out. And what I will also be doing is I'll be doing videos where I'll be talking about what we're going to be doing as a next giveaway, right? So you want to be subscribed, tuned in to that as well. So it's going to be a fun year and fun years to come as well. So yeah, that being said, you guys have a great day.